The engines were excited. There were to be some special rail tours to the seaside, and no one knew which engine would be chosen to pull them. "It ought to be me," observed Mellard. "After all, that seaside place helped pay for my repairs." Others thought that someone else should have the chance. Thomas knew that he would not be chosen, but he enjoyed listening to the others arguing. He was pleased in the end when it was decided to give the trips to Green Arrow. When Green Arrow returned from the first tour, he said he had never seen so many people. Soon there were talks of putting on extra trains. But this was not possible. All we can do is to add extra coaches, they said. But then Green Arrow can't pull a train that heavy all on his own. "Of course I can," he scoffed. "My brothers and I did that during the war. I can help," asked Thomas. "I don't know. I don't see why not," said the man in shorts. In the morning, Thomas' fireman arrived early. Thomas's fire was lit, and while the warmth crept through his boiler, the fireman made sure that all his moving parts were well oiled. Behind, Green Arrow was being prepared too, and they were both ready. They set off to find their coaches. The station platform was jammed with admiring people, which didn't seem to get even smaller after the trainload of people were in their seats. Thomas was coupled in front. He was pleased. He liked to see where he was going. At the seaside station, Thomas was turned around so he could go in front again. After a rest, the engines set off once more. A ruined abbey stood at a place where the line was curved beside a river. A crowd had gathered to wave and cheer. But Thomas wasn't watching them. Looking ahead, he had seen something strange. "Stop! Stop!" he whistled in alarm. The train was heavy, and it was hard to stop. But they managed it just in time. Not everyone was able to see that in front of Thomas, the rail near the river was lower than the one on the other side. The water has undermined the embankment, said the inspector. I'll go to the signal box and sort things out. Buses came for the passengers, but it was late before the men thought it would be safe to use the other track. Together, the engines pushed the coaches back to a crossover. On his own, Thomas crept past the landslip. Then, very carefully, Green Arrow pulled the empty coaches by. Together, they brought the train back to York. A few days later, a party of very important-looking people came to the museum. One was the man in charge, and the other behind him was the fat controller. Oh dear, thought Thomas. They have come to take me away for frightening that child. But the fat controller was smiling. The man in charge held up his hand for silence. Thomas, said the man in charge, your controller told us that you're a really useful engine. He is right. For saving a nasty accident the other day, we've decided that you will become an honorary member of the National Railway Collection. This special plate will remind you of your visit to us. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 cheers for Thomas the Tank Engine. The noise nearly raised the roof. Well done, Thomas, said the fat controller. I knew you would be a credit to our railway.